Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Whenever this has reached you is when it's supposed to, divine order. But the key word right now is, as of the beginning of this read, um, we're setting it off with surprise. The ancestors, the spirit guides, the spirit team has a way of Kansas City Shuffle. Anybody familiar with the movie Lucky Number 11? You know that the Kansas City Shuffle is have you thinking one thing, have you looking at and focus on one thing, but it's something totally different. Now, this is for enemies, opps, whatever the matrix is clearing out, severing ties with. Also, this is for us too. I'm saying to say that we definitely are not being told the whole story mercifully from the spirit team, because if we knew it, we probably, it's just too much. It's too much because we know that this is spiritual war. War is war. War will have you shell shocked, PTSD, all of that. Some of us are really cut out for it. Some of us are cut out for that military regimented, forward movement. We're wired and we're designed like that. And there's a lot of Trojan ones that, even though we are the SWAT of the chosen, we're designed to combat wickedness through the arts, through science, through mathematics, where it's not just combat. So, like, for the sake of combat, the combat is your success. Even though I'm going to read off the traits of those, generally speaking, in Andromeda, and a little bit detailed to Andromeda 1, because that's the only ones out of the 18 different DNA signature groups coming out of the point of origin of Andromeda. There's only one that I am acquainted with. They're partially humanoid, but they are also in the human experience. So we're going to talk about the general traits, and then I pulled a few of the Destiny career cards and some Angel Oracle cards just to get some traits and some clarity. But it will also, whoever is tuned in, whether you are of Andromeda or maybe a loved one or coworker, or you're just interested in all of this new information, what you might have a takeaway in here just for you. But surprise is what it is. So Kansas City Shuffle, it for your enemies, it's pretty bad. It's pretty severe because our ancestors, the spirit team in general, has gone Hannibal Lecter and has been in Hannibal Lecter mode with our ops for a long time now, for a substantial amount of time. For those ops that thought they can get away and go to a place where there's no extradition, yes, that's serious. There's nowhere you can go to Malta. I don't care where you go. There'll be a spirit team on some Hannibal Lecter type time waiting for that ass. The way the Ark of the Covenant, the new Ark of the Covenant, operates is extremely clever, nuclear, with some added extra oomph to it. It is extremely lethal, extremely flexible in how it handles that handle. So when it comes to guiding us and providing for us and assisting us through the shadow, the valley, and the fire, and all the stuff of death and hell on earth, and get you to the heaven on earth energies, right? And the reason why you're even in you might be in the hell on earth energies, because both frequencies now are here. Dante's Inferno and the Kingdom of Heaven, as per prophecy, both are here. So if Dante's Inferno is here, then what is hell? The new hell. Okay, just like you have Zion, the VIP of the heavens, you got a VIP of the hell, the new hell, Moloch. If you're listening to the previous uploads, you know exactly who Moloch is, as he's probably in the courtroom right now, and when he's not in court, he's at home at the Metropolitan Detention Center. I think going forward, I really would prefer to go primarily by his forever name, which is Moloch, the monstrosity demon that will devour innocents, children and or adult, for profit, for insanity, for insatiable savagery. This is what that demon is about. And he's having a physical human experience. And at the same time, people are still worshiping. Either way, anybody aligned with this dude is a Rizat. Goodbye. Surprise. Kansas City Shuffle. So while y'all will focus on the 144,000, which is the Trojan ones, or any of the chosen, any that are beloved by Father God Wrath, right? If you're coming for them, you will exit out faster. If you was focused on them, you didn't see the kraken that had been released, and now all up in your neck, all up in your neck, real quick. Okay, so surprise. In the meantime, while all these hideous, wartime, vicious, rotten, criminal-minded type of plans on repeat, failing on repeat. There was a time, that's why a lot of our spiritual families on the other side that's fighting alongside with us, not just Orisha, the gods, goddesses, not that deity level only, but the ancestors who have received boons, who a lot of them are now definitely in that ascended goddess Orisha mode, God mode, right? But we on the planet are also in the emperor god, empress goddess. We're here on earth, but we're quite primordial. The god and goddess energy about us, the primordial, the detached energy of everything is in divine order, so I really can't be too angry, too wrathful about it. But the empress and emperor energy is still on earth, so then every now and then we got to remember to calm down, because we be on some wrath shit. The father wrath, mother doom energy is coursing through our veins. We are wrath and doom. Believe that shit. Or we are blessings to whoever we cross paths with. It just depends on them, because everybody can operate out of wickedness or goodness, and we all have quite a pile of records in the hall of records in all our incarnations, off world and on. So during judgment day, it will really depend on your heart, how much remorse, how much kindness, and how much entitlement you don't have. Because if you're walking around with some entitlement on 100, that's gonna cause you a lot of blockages, that is turning to a toxic fume in your life, that can really cost you a lot at that Ma'at scale, because the heart is heavy. So it's not who owe you, it's what do you owe to the experience, to existence, what you got to offer, how can you show up and show out and add to existence, not take away, not muck and mire it up, not block others from doing so, with low vibrational energies, emotions, and the actions that are executed from that low vibe, that low status. So keeping it upbeat, keeping it, exciting, keeping it productive, because idle hands is the devil workshop. The card of the day, before we go diving into Andromeda, the card that was picked out of the Revelations Oracle, this is happening during the time of COVID. And I think this is like outside of the Canary Islands, outside of Africa, if I'm not mistaken. I'm dyslexic, so I can picture the islands, but I might be tearing up the name. I might be talking about islands in the Caribbean, but this is islands off the coast of Africa. If you look closely, you will find Pele. I'm going to get to the back of this card. Let me bring you to how Pele can be located. Okay, so on my website, Tanya the Brooklyn Medium, you go under the team. Let me get my little wand. Okay, you go under the team, you click on, talks about us, right? When I say us, I'm talking about all the spiritual assistants. Let's click on here to Goddess Pele with Sandy the white dog, right? Okay, and there's renderings and images. These are actual images. This is actually what Pele looks like. This is from a video that was shot in the sky, and I screenshot right on time and then rendered out Pele and the white dog. This is the white dog, Sandy Storm. You feel free to check it out. This is Pele and 50 Cent's forehead because she protects him. He's going to need it. So much hate and rage towards him. But also is who 50 Cent is. He go way back. He got history with Father God. They used to roll together before in a previous lifetime. So there's a special energy around 50. Okay, but you know, this is Aaliyah's from the wreckage from Aaliyah's crash, and there's Sandy. So Sandy is avenging Aaliyah. Obviously, there's something to avenge. And this is, let me see if I can open this up some more. Okay. And this is Pele in that photo I just showed y'all. Let's see. This is her headdress. So when they talk about, they see her with the white dog, this is her. Now see, this is Sandy. Sandy goes in and out of time. She is a prime example of how the Ark of the Covenant works with reality or realities. The rules don't apply. So this is like in the late 50s. And here's Sandy before she passed. She had absorbed a lot of the magic that was hurled at us. And then she left us. And then she just, you know, got with the Ark of the Covenant, and it's been on ever since. So when people say they see Sandy, yeah, of course you see the white dog with Pele. Yeah, you see her. You see her. That's Sandy Storm. She don't play that. It's clear she don't play that. I got way more receipts on Sandy, so I will do just a segment on Sandy. But we're gonna get back to what it is, the message for today. Again, this was what you're seeing now was being presented back in 2008 with a treatment to Sean Combs' headquarters, Sean John. And the treatment was left there. So was my address and contact information. And that put me into a wormhole that has brought me out decoding all kinds of... I don't regret the wormhole. It was grueling. It almost killed me. I can barely say grueling. It was grueling. Ah! You know what I'm saying? And I got a temper, so to be put into a rabbit hole, a wormhole, is like putting the Hulk in a blender. So I had to learn how to, you know, balance out my rah-rah real quick. I end up in some real ill shit. That was one hell of a fucking tornado, or wormhole. Tornado, Dorothy and the Oz, it was crazy. It was really bizarre, but it enlightened me to what the world really looks like when you're no longer papacy whipped. Okay, Tupac loves for me. He wants me to mention that as often as possible, that we should stop being papacy whipped and to whip that papacy. Thanks, Tupac. You know, so now that I'm no longer papacy whipped, and I did go to Catholic school for 12 years. No, you know, in my youth, from 1st to 12th grade, went to Catholic school. So, you know, there was a papacy whipping. It was. And then it's just indoctrinated throughout the planet. But now, in the age of Aquarius-Capricorn, the bullshit stops. If it's not real, it's going to be revealed. It's going to be put on blast. And it's actually going to be taken away by the Matrix. On the back of this card, it says, "Unchain my heart." Hi, Ray. Ray is definitely at the table, at the round table, the Ark of the Covenant. It says, "Baby, set me free." At the Continental, where they have tapped into the coin press, all contracts are closed. Someone is very ill and dying. So the coin press, the Continental, if you are a John Wick fan, okay, you'll understand that the coin press is like it's like the heart of a secret society that generates a currency within the society. Okay? Very, very much like how the Templars before they were massacred because they were becoming powerful and the Vatican didn't like it. They were tortured to death, and people lied on them so that they could torture them to death. So they'll have carte blanche to do something to punish them, right? But they had their own banking system. Okay, so that still happens on this planet. Of course it does. And at the Continental. So basically what I'm saying is you were excommunicado, you were definitely exiled, whoever I'm talking to. You were definitely exiled, and a lot of enemies were deployed towards you. Unknown enemies and enemies known. Or enemies you didn't even know they were enemies, but you know now, you don't cut them clean and smooth off, get the on. And now you cut them clean, smooth off, but you cut them like you prune the grapes. You had your little sickle. There's like a little sickle instrument that you can cut a whole bushel of grapes and put them in the wine press as per prophecy. So the wine press is popping right now. It's popping. The Ma'at scale is popping. Everything's popping. It's Judgment Day, which started 2012 and will continue. It's Judgment Day is 3,600 Earth years long. So there's good judgments and bad judgments. What you got up at that Ma'at scale? Okay. So a lot were deployed, but anybody who was deployed to come for you have been taken right on out. And now I see why, when I say taken that right on out, they've been taken out by whether they are, what do you call it, corrupt law enforcement, right? They're being addressed or handled. All of a sudden, things, cold cases is warming up, and come to find out it's corrupt law enforcement. It got something to do with it. But what I will say is the actual beings from Andromeda are also at the table. The round table, the Ark of the Covenant, is an intergalactic, interdimensional, new matrix physics. The Ark it's not what Moses and his mans and them was carting around, and that was lethal. That'll lay out armies left and right. This is immeasurable at this juncture. So Andromedans are there, and it can be quite frightening if they ain't on your side. If they ain't on your side. So I know, because of their technology, I guess this is where FBI and CIA and Homeland might want to listen. Their technology is utilized as per with the Ark of the Covenant. The spiritual court is held in the Ark of the Covenant. It has its own department in the core of the Ark of the Covenant, the spiritual court, which is important. The spiritual court, the mind scale, keeps everybody honest, because we could all slip up. We are definitely all imperfect, and we got to keep it that way, or we cease to exist if we become perfect. Okay? So right now, there is no wanton activity. Everything is in divine order and is being maintained that way through the spiritual courts. That's why all prophecies are going to be realized, or are realized on one level or degree at this time, in real time, like fireworks. They're all popping. All prophecies from all cultures about right now, popping. From the 3 secrets of Fatima with the Vatican to what the Mayans was talking about. Please check out the book, Celestine Prophecy. It will prepare you for what is happening now. It's a tremendous tool. Okay, so all contracts closed, all enemies who are obsessed with you. This is the strength card. You're strengthening up. You are in supernatural mode. They are predominantly in natural mode. So they wanted your supernatural gifts. They tapped in and became abomination. These are in previous uploads that will talk about it even more. They are without regalia, spiritual regalia. Their gifts are being stripped. Your protection, the Lion of Judah, Zion, is on them strong. They're falling from illness. They're in prison. They're in caskets and gone already. And in hell, crackling and sizzling, which allows you a certain measure of freedom. You already feel it. There's more to come, and there's more of a bloodbath to come. I'm sorry to call it what it is, but it is what it is. This is called a climax to a very long, long story, and the illest long hustle, a Kansas City shuffle in mega, immeasurable proportions. This was already planned out. Okay, so on the website, I'm going to pull up. Okay, so if you go into our work, you can have the DNA signature groups that you could choose here, or you could just choose, click on the button here, right? You can just peruse the website. It's starting to feel like a museum or something. But these are the point of origins. I generally call it just point of origin, but technically it's point of origins, DNA signature group. And this is just page 1. So we covered Aldebaran. There's plenty of, as you can see in this massive book, there's plenty that's not even uploaded here, okay? But here we have Andromeda. So whether it's Antares, Andromeda, Aldebaran, Mars, Neptune, Spica, Sirius 1, Sirius B 1, Sirius B 2, Venus 1, Venus 2, irregardless of the point of origin, every origin has its own manifestation in the human experience. So when you are from Antares, this is what you look like. And a lot of the movies are depicting the points of origin. The Ark of the Covenant is forged out of Hollywood. It's going to do all types of stuff with Hollywood. Oh, it's just beginning, I'm hearing. So here in this one, you can see the Andromeda, but I'm gonna give you a picture of a few more images. Okay, very distinct, very, it's not going to look like, each DNA signature group or point of origin is not going to look like the other one. All origins have its own contribution, its own manifestation in the physical form, that aspect. So wherever we're from, irregardless of what the earthly race we're in, you can go and collect a whole bunch of Andromedans, put them in one room, but they're going to come out in every culture, in every ethnic group, and all have a common ground. Okay, so the contribution here, just off the jump, if you want to check on the website, you can go ahead and check that, but it says contribution to Earth, the butterfly totem of transformation, so very connected to the butterfly totem. So when you're connected to the butterfly totem, you have to, be mindful of, that energy is going on. Am I in the cocoon stage? Am I in the, caterpillar? Like, what's going on? Is this why it's so difficult for me? Because I have to transform. The old me has to die out, and a fresh new me has to come out, and no one can really help me. I'm going to have to do it myself in order to emerge triumphantly as the butterfly and who I'm meant to be. When I pull some additional cards just on this specific Andromeda 1, there's 18. I have not identified the remaining 17 DNA signature groups from Andromeda. I got my work cut out for me, but since I'm going to be alive, you feel me, for all eternity, one way or the other, I got plenty of time. Okay. For this person who has gone too far past the point of no return and have become an abomination, well, they won't be living, not in quantum mania, not in that ushkash gukash. You give me that ushkash goulash outside of time and space. That's where the new hell is. That's where Moloch's new body is waiting. And the body is in the form of a throne, since he likes to control people's thrones. Our bodies, our physicality with its own consciousness is our throne. And nobody should be sitting in it and dictating what happens with that damn throne. You need to be sovereign over you. Okay, so hold on one second. There's a call coming in, and I won't be taking it. Okay, so here we go. It says the butterfly totem of transformation, sacral chakra activation attributes. So very, very important for the sacral chakra. I would say carnelian, Go into crystal therapy for sure. The carnelian is ideal, sunstone, black tourmaline. Um, the root chakra should be balanced because that's where the coil of kundalini or chi energy is based at, and you want it to be uncoiled and to go through all the chakra points in your prime meridian. You want it to go upward for maximum health, maximum energy, maximum care. Then you want those chakra points to jut outward into a star tetrahedron, two pyramids intertwined, or the Star of David. You want them to go, outward to formulate that, which is also called a Merkaba. Then you want those two star tetrahedrons that have a chakra point of yours on each of its points. You want those two tetrahedrons to start oscillating with each other. Vroom, vroom, vroom. Be spinning, yo, be spinning, or be spinning, yo, be spinning. 9/10 the speed of light until zing, a fifth dimensional horizon juts out. And you show up on radar with the government. They're like sending black ops type helicopters over your house and over you, or over where you're at, because you're lit up, walking around with this whole spaceship around your body. And with the type of energy that makes you unstoppable, makes you sovereign. And anybody around you tapped in and acting stupid, it puts them in the grave. So Andromeda, this is for you and everybody that's listening here. Sunstone is great. Sunstone with labradorite crystal is fantastic. Those two crystals are often promoted to be used together. Also, that crystal, the labradorite, it is good for all chakra points, to bring maximum health to all chakra points. Okay, so universal support, that's awesome. You have universal support. I don't know if I need to go so deep into that attribute. I think that is what it is. And then I have these cards here, so we're going to go more detailed. But universal support. Without it, you're screwed. Okay, I leave it at that. But you know what? The next trait, it says deep breathing is essential. So that will help you with the universal support. Universal understanding, overstanding, outerstanding. Your intuition will be on point. You'll be able to move properly. You'll be able to hear your spirit guides. Or your spirit guides will be able to move you even, because it'll be easy to move you. Almost like a video game, and your spirit guides are moving you and you're moving through life. Like duck, move, make a step, turn, go this way, go right, go left. And everything is on point, and you know it's on point because the synchronicities in one day alone, the serendipitousness of your path is tremendous. Like you're like, yo, I'm getting so many signs today because you're in the right flow, you're on point. Fasting comes up. It's not in this computer because it's not on the website. This is an overall for all Andromedans, every last DNA group. But for this that I'm showcasing, the visuals of Andromeda 1, fasting is essential so that you can really get, that ebb and flow from the universe without the blockages that people want to put in your way. Deep breathing to calm you down too, because the next trait, it says strong warrior. Very strong warrior. Yeah, big time. In your original, when you're not having the human experience, outside of the human experience, you guys are known powerful warriors with powerful weaponry, spaceships, cloaking devices, technologies. Y'all ain't no joke. Y'all beast with it, beast mode. So I'm happy that they are sitting at the table with the Ark. Why make enemies when you can make friends? Hey, anybody love the King Arthur movie? Why make enemies when you can make friends? This is preferable, but you gotta be mature. You gotta be a whole grown ass man and woman to understand the concept of that and still be wise, because you still gotta watch your back. So I'm happy that I got Andromedans in my family, okay? Because ain't nobody gonna play with me if they deployed from the Ark of the Covenant. The reason why we all alive, who I'm talking to, is because Andromeda be having your back. Big time. Why Diddy thought Dantor, Urzuli Dantor from the Voodoo Pantheon had his back? No, her ass has been deployed to hell. She got escorted to hell because she been doing too much. You see, If Dom Tour can go to hell because of how she was working with Diddy, then that means anybody connected to Diddy cutting the fool, you're out of here. To the VIP of hell. If I should be clear, okay. So, strong warrior, courageous. That's another one of the overall general aspects. Participation in high vibrational projects with others are essential. Teamwork, absolutely. It is a winning. You guys are team players. You can go solo, but team players as well. Mastery cycle begins. So again, with that butterfly, acknowledge when and go with and flow with it. Don't resist the butterfly transformation moments in your life as it's evolving naturally. Go with it. Trust it, because the next level of mastery must begin. This is important. There might be some Andromedans where they're like, oh my God, I'm tired, or I'm a little bit nervous, stage fright about starting a new level. But there's plenty of Andromedans that are also like, I'm ready for it. I can't do stale. I can't do a stale, the same shit over and over again. I need something new and fresh. I need a challenge. So you guys don't really refrain from challenges. If you are refraining, there must be some healing that needs to be done. Okay, must not give up. So y'all have this must not give up. Very tenacious, very ambitious. I respect that. I'm triple Capricorn. Big ups, okay? Big ups with that. But also that any aggressive energies have to be balanced out. So you might be connected to the badger totem. That's fantastic. But the badger, honey badger, all of it still requires a softening energy. So I'm giving you crystals that deal with feeling grounded and healthy. That's first and foremost. Feel grounded and feel at home within yourself, period. That's what you need first and foremost. Especially if you're in a Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo sign. Because we're in that earthly element, irregardless of what our point of origin is. If you're in the Capricorn sign, Taurus sign, Virgo sign, we don't like the earth to be quaking underneath us. We like it steady and stable, okay? To get our best, But we're in a state of emergency. We're amazing for others who's in a state of emergency. But for us, we might be like, what the fuck? So breathe, focus. And this will bring you to the next trait. It says self-defense. So this is your contribution. You govern these, generally speaking, for the human experience. It says, please see. It says, please sue. I hope I don't have to sue nobody, but please see the contribution of Mars due to there being a connection with this race. So real quick, let me pull up Mars, right? Let's pull up the Martian. I would say page 3. Maybe page 3. Intergalactic. Okay, so here's Mars. A lot of attributes here. But you see how distinctly different they look. Let me study this so you can see. Isn't that awesome? Yes, Lisa is on the other side. Big up. Gangster. But does that make sense? Mars is as simple as it is. Y'all can look at the attributes for sure. Wheel of Fortune is the first attribute. Very lucky. Y'all like some weed, child. Y'all like some marijuana. But can I tell you, when I did research on marijuana, I said, give me more information behind it. I just did a read on it. Its origin is from Mars. It's not even indigenous to Earth. Isn't that some shit? So when Mars was lush, there was some weed from there. It was brought. So there was a lot of going back and forth from Mars to Earth, which makes complete sense. It was also used in the temples in the time of Atlantis from 10,388 BC and back. 10,388 BC was the final cataclysm that put continents underwater. It wouldn't be till 2 more 3,600 year cycles that we would have the Noah's flood. 2012, we were supposed to have some ass whooping, some cataclysmic, but the cataclysm, it is here, but it's different. Okay, so yes, on Mars long enough, right? Okay, so let me put this down. Let me put this whole computer down. But again, When you look, you can see the Lyrans are completely different from the Martians. They have their own distinct look, regardless of the earthly race that they're in. This is Lyra 1. There's some Lyra 2 in there. I think I have a page just for that. That's in my larger book. So there's of course I'm still finding and discovering new. Like I said, I got all the time I need. Even though there are forces trying to stop that. Okay, so I'm looking at the time. Let's get to the read. Let's get to the nitty gritty. So success. This is a general read for whoever stumbled on this, that it applies to, that it resonates with, and it's for Andromeda, specifically Andromeda 1. Success. Now, the angel cards that I have with it, I'm going to read off. It says spiritual baths. So when it comes to success, it says spiritual baths are your superpower. Awesome. You can make your own. You can order up some nice spiritual baths and, just clear your energy. Some baths it needs to be very strong, and then followed by baths that need to have a sweetening, energy. I'm not going to call out. I have ideas and recipes, but that's not my contribution at this time. There are readers that are very gifted that's in YouTube tarot land that do provide that on their sites, and I would definitely run with that. You can go on Etsy as well, and you can go on YouTube for how to make a spiritual bath, and you never know if that's your thing too, that you're very talented in. It's never too late. Get on with it and have fun, enjoy. Maybe you need dandelion mixed with rosemary and some sea salt just to do a scrub, and then after that you do something with some roses. I don't know, but you'll know. When it comes to success, the card that came out, one of the career cards that came out was Wine Connoisseur. So I think if you pronounce it properly, I'm dyslexic, but I'm gonna try anyway. I think it's a sommelier, sommelier, not Somalia, but something like that, where you are a wine connoisseur and you are a wine rep. In a way, I guess it's a wine rep. You go into restaurants, hotels, bars, and you provide, the wine tastings, wine samplings, the wine, period. You have to, I think as a sommelier, you go to actual wineries, you make it your career. It's your friggin' career. Who has the best wine harvests? And back to the wine press, child. The wine press is popping. You feeling that in the air. It's a lot of grouchy motherfuckers because they're getting mashed up right now. It's the wine press. You know who's in the wine press. And hard pressed for wine. That's what I'm hearing Tupac say. He's saying it's Miller time because they ain't got enough for the wine. Okay. Well, sometimes we don't got enough for the wine. So let me tell you something. If you are on a tight budget right now, take your ass to the nearest Trader Joe's that has wine on the premises. In New York, it's a different story because it's different laws and rules and regulations here in NYC. But there's one cool Trader Joe's wine shop on 14th Street. Whenever I can journey over there, I racks up. They have the Charles Shore, SHAW, which is reminding me, Charles Shore. As soon as I hear Shore, I'm thinking of Manchurian Candidates. Yeah, there's some Manchurian Candidates going on. That Manchurian Candidate movie, the old original one and the remake with Denzel, it's not a game. It's that technology type of fuckery and more going on this planet. And that's why, as long as we have Manchurian Candidates, menfolk who had some real grimy ass mothers and didn't heal from that. There's menfolk who had some grimy ass mothers and cut their asses off, cut them hoes off, and chose not their mother. They did not choose that archetype again. They're like, I'm fitting to heal, I'm fitting to have a certain type of life and a certain type of woman on my arm. I'm not having it. Or some that don't even go that direction. They're like menfolk, and they chose within their own sex to have their spouse, but they refuse to duplicate, because you can be of the same sex relationship and still that other half of yours can be a duplicate of a karmic in your life, okay, and in your family life. Excuse me. So, and y'all probably know it already and probably kept it pushing when you divorced them. Anyway, bringing it back to wine connoisseur, wine press is one thing. Wine connoisseur will bring you great success if you are of this DNA group. I'm probably confirming it already. My daughter's teacher, she's Guardian Angel 1 or Guardian Angel 2. There's several Guardian Angel point of origins. And she used to be she's a mathematician. She used to be a mathematics teacher only. So when I brought this to her attention, mathematics is one of their gifts, their contributions. She says, I am a mathematics teacher. So wine connoisseur plus success, okay? And the success card, it says this: the path you are on will bring you success and prosperity if you just keep going. Lots of little steps take you a long way. You are on track, okay? The next angel oracle card that goes with that success card is the military path. So again, in your natural state, like if you were in Andromeda, in your frequency in Andromeda, you would be trained in the illest warfare tactics, natural tactical genius energies, stealth mode, and your technologies for invisibility is fantastic. But in the human experience, you may have a way, you might be like, yo, this is hitting home because I have a certain type of way where I can be invisible. I know how to get invisible when I need to, okay? This is not going to be the only read on Andromeda 1, but this is part 1. So Sirius B has 2 DNA groups, Sirius B 1 and 2. They are also connected to the doctrine that the Dogon tribe in Mali, in Africa, in the country of Mali, the Dogon tribe, they know about Sirius B. There's a lot of tribes, especially Native American, indigenous tribes, that know from their point of view what they were privy to about certain constellations as well. But they know about Sirius B they know about Sirius B connection to amphibious and energies like the whale and the dolphin. So Sirius B1 is connected to the whale, and the whale's akashic, the whale's totem or medicine, its energy, what it represents in existence. The whale is the Akashic records, the Hall of Records. The dolphin is meditation, the way you access the Hall of Records. So from Sirius B1, they are directly connected to the whale. For Sirius B2, directly connected to the dolphin. So one will have, just a very calm demeanor, just like the whale, very calm unless you provoke it. And the dolphin, the Sirius B2s that are connected to the dolphin might be a little bit more playful, a little bit more interactive with, more socially interactive. And definitely dealing with breathing. So we're coming back to the breathing energy. So let's just look at Sirius B1 while we're at it, and Sirius B2. Okay, so let's click on here. Okay, what's going on? Computer's a little bit slow today. Never seen it do this. I've never experienced this. The computer be cutting up, but never like this before. Whoever's in my computer, will y'all stop? And can y'all take that satellite off me? Y'all be watching me go take a dump, don't y'all? Yeah, I'm rowdy and wild like that, y'all. Especially when I get harassed. I've never had this issue. My connection is fine. Let me look at my connection here. Yeah, it's strong. Yeah, I go on my website and all of a sudden I can't click on to the next page. They're letting me know we still run this. Or do you? Do you still run it? Because the Ark of the Covenant is here, honey. Okay, so I'm gonna try something else. I wanted y'all to see Series B or 2. I can always go in my book. Okay, we have technology, but this is why we still have to have paper, basic paper and pens and stuff like that for shit like this. When your computer is hijacked, it won't let me do anything. I've never seen this before. Okay, we'll get back to that. So the next thing is we don't stop. That's the next thing I'm hearing. The next thing is one monkey or monkey business don't stop shit. Guidance. That's what I'm being. I hear them clear as day. And also with guidance, let me be very responsible. I have to say this. If you are fully operating and masterful and connecting with your guides, you already know what I'm about to tell you, or you understand what I'm about to tell you. But those who are like, okay, I want to get into it. I can feel that I'm connected. Sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. Be careful when connecting, when meditating. Trust your instincts, because that's the ion sphere that you're connecting. You know, it's like aeon flux, if you're familiar with that. You can hear like your ion flux, right? You can hear from the other side, like there's a little earpiece in your ear. Okay? But demons use that. All types of stuff be going on in that. I'm still, I'm such a Capricorn because I'm still like, fuck all of that. Let me see what's going on my computer. Let me click out of this and restart. Ain't nobody gonna stop me from clicking on my website. What is this? I heard Pac say papacy, but he always want to blame everything on the papacy. I think he just likes to say papacy, which I think, y'all. Okay. All right, so I was able to back out of it and get in. I see DMX. What's up, DMX? So this is Series B1. DMX is from Rigel. We definitely get to that. This is Series B1. And you'll see their attributes here. And then, if you want to look, pause it and all that. Sean Price's wife was in that compilation. Big up to Sean Price and his wife and his family, his peoples. Okay? Of course, he's at the table. Sean Price is alive and well. Okay? This is the second coming. This is the resurrection. Okay, y'all see this? This is Series B2. They're connected to the dolphin. And then you can get in there and get all of there. Now, hopefully, I'm gonna have to go back on the website because this is all still so new to me. I kept thinking Sirius B was part of the Orion's Belt constellation, but that's not. That's Alnitak and two other stars. Canis Major is where Sirius is at, and that's a lot of information. I got so much information about Canis Major. Canis Minor is one thing. Canis Major, if any Gen X's are listening right now, if you watch The Dark Crystal, that place, that planet in the Dark Crystal, waiting for the conjunction, that is Canis Major. So we'll go into Canis Major for sure. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to all of them. Most of them. At least touch on them. You know, I would love to, do books and to also have it on YouTube for further diving into, because there's still going to be more information for every point of origin, for every DNA signature group. There's still going to be more and more and more and more. Period. Okay, so for the guidance card, we have Dragon and Royal Bloodlines. So a lot of you have had incarnations in Royal Bloodlines, off-world as well, in your original world and Andromeda constellation, within that constellation, and other constellations. We didn't just go to one or two. All of us have had times in different constellations and have brought back these attributes as well. So even going forward, the same way if you're looking at your zodiac sign, you should look at all of them, because your chart has the embodiment of all the different signs. So you'll see actual physicality in your person, or actual traits that might mimic another point of origin that you have been, incarnating within a lot. Okay, so but there's a connection to dragons, and if there's any high priest or high priestesses that I'm addressing, more than likely you have your own dragon that protects you. So the dragon energy, also dragon, look under the dragon attributes. The biggest attribute is fecundity, productivity. Fecundity is just a more profound expression of the meaning of just, what are you doing? Are you getting it out the mud? Are you putting that work in? Fecundity. It says folklore that actually exists. Well, fairies exist. I'm going to show y'all a whole bunch of them. Y'all can see them on the website. Fairies exist in the human experience. Yes, we do. We sure do, us fairy folk. It's not all cute, though. It's all fairies. Fairies, we can be rough. A little bit crass, burp. What? We can be ladylike, okay? We can be empress-like, and then, we can enjoy a fart joke. Okay? There's no farting in Zion, by the way. So just keep in mind that when our loved ones are returning back or have come back, that they really are sacrificing such a comfortability. Because the physics, there's no hunger, there's munchies. They do have weed, all kinds of weed that they are going to bring here for us to try. That's going to be fun. What else can Zion bring here that the planet needs? Interesting, right? The kingdom of heaven on earth. They didn't go into detail in Revelations, but it's here. And it will only bloom and blossom more and more. But a lot of the filth is being cleansed out. A lot of detox must happen. A lot of the rot has to be cleared out in order for the good to come in. So this is the spiritual war, in essence. They got to get the hell on. At least a good amount. We can't have perfection. It's not going to be completely obliterated of wickedness and evil. Both polarities must exist, y'all. Let's not be naive. But one or the other can't really dominate. Okay? So I'm seeing phone calls are coming in. Hold on one second. The next trait, again, I said fasting. Let me wrap this up because I'm seeing the time is a very busy time right now and I have to keep a schedule. The next card is drama. So here with the drama, beware of troublemakers in the workplace. The job that you want may have too much upheaval to bear. Keep emotions and gossip in check. So be mindful of that, keeping that in check. Be mindful of that at the workplace. I'm sorry, I'm a little distracted. Let me focus. Because calls are coming in and it's about to get very busy. About to get on skates, y'all. It says, what's next? So you might be on some what's next at the job front? Okay? Or you might be like, what's next? I got to move on to the next job. And that's fine because it actually says stepping stone blessings, employment progress. So you have noticed specifically, most of us have, irregardless of point of origin, but it is the emphasis that all the jobs that you've ever had was so synchronized perfectly so that the job that you have now, you'd be ready for it. That you were able to cop this job. You'll be able to do that going forward. It's like stepping stones. You haven't reached the shoreline and got on land yet. But don't stress that. Maybe that's not time yet because there's so much that you're receiving going from stepping stone to stepping stone. Okay? Fireman and woman comes up. And not just fireman and woman. This gives you also the idea of the physicality, the strength, the energy of this DNA group. That you have the capability, male or female, to be in strenuous... my computer is really acting up. In strenuous positions. Strenuous employment that requires, physical strength. Hold on one moment. Let me get... Okay. So Andromeda. Big up to Little Rod, okay? So there's more to Andromeda, as you could see. Got Little Rod right here. Different. You could tell I've been watching Sidebar. You could tell I've been on the Diddy Trout. I didn't Like, can I open this some more? Okay. He's not. I'm going to get to his point of origin. That's not who we're talking about. But this young lady is from that point of origin. She's doing a fantastic job on Sidebar. So I definitely be watching Sidebar, but I definitely focus my favorite. I'm sorry, the nepotism. It's with Tisa Tells. Okay, you see, stunning. What's up, Kiki? What's up, Michelle? How many Fast and Furious fans? Yes, Paul Walker is still alive. Big up to Paul Walker. Okay. Big up to his family, his daughter. Big up. Okay. Here's a, yeah, there we go. See it a little bit more. Let's close that up. As you can see. All right. So, and here's a natural extrovert. So, that can cause drama at the job. For that card to come up with the drama card, like, so people might be really jealous of your very strong, you got strong gangsta-ass personality. People might not like that. They might want to subdue it and harass, and then it's time to move forward when it's time to move forward. Let your guides guide you to a better situation and take what you've learned and go with it. That's what I'm seeing rolling the dice. There's people who are really, I see rolling the dice and I see opportunities on the horizon. But there's people that really will try you. They feel like they're above your pay grade so they can steal your ideas. If you watch the movie Contact, perfect example. Jodie Foster's character, she's the one who made the discovery. It's her work. And then because somebody who is, in a higher pay grade with more authority, and abusive of the authority, and they commandeered what she had. But on the flip side, because of the work, the fecundity that she put in, there was a blessing. The universe support came in, and Hayden came in and scooped up and was just like, yo, I got a duplicate of that machine that the vegans sent down and that you discovered. So go for it. So there's blessings. Just roll the dice and move forward, y'all. That gives me the Queen of Cups. Yeah, the Queen of Cups energy, big time. You're a good guy. You're one of the good guys, whether you're male or female, in that Queen of Cups sweetheart energy. That's why the Wheel of Fortune is there. The 10. The Wheel of Fortune is there. Okay, so don't change the good and the nice side just because I know y'all can give somebody a good, stern, steady backhand and forward hand and firm ass whooping, because your natural point of origin is warriors. You are natural, combat prepared, weaponry trained, the illest technology. You guys are a foe to reckon with. But, people have tried. They will try you. Be careful of cult memberships. That came up. Interesting. And sing. That's literal singing or just speaking your truth, just expressing yourself. Okay? Express yourself. Big up yourself. That's what I'm hearing. Big up yourself. So that ends this read and information on Andromeda. Andromeda 1 as well as Andromeda on a whole. And then there's a collective read embedded in here for those who are just interested in this information. Please stay tuned. Please come back to the channel. There's going to be more uploads, not just of the points of origin, but all the data, all the information, the decoding of ancient tablets and how it impacts us today, the collective, the world, the planet, the universe, all of the matrix, the existence. Okay, so there's much more tablets to go over and review. In the meantime, we are in strength energy. You're focused on the prize. Your enemies are always going to focus on you. Sometimes we're very angry about it, but when we're in our God or goddess mode, we're just like, why am I hooting and hollering? I know I know what it is, and I know I signed up for it. I know nothing's in vain, and I know it's all in divine order. And I know that I have to stay on top of my healing, because I get really angry and really pissed off and triggered for certain things, because it's not about, oh, that was the past, you didn't heal yet. No, it's not about that. It's about the past was one thing, but motherfuckers are still doing it now. If you're still freshly trying to stab me in the back, betray, and stuff like that, then I got a problem with it. I'm not going to keep taking you back in. I'm going to cut you complete off. So no contact versus contact, the movie, right? Why would I keep people around me that want to compete, that want to block, that want to sabotage all my hard work? And that brings me, as you begin a story, is how you end it. Surprise. There'll be wonderful surprises in the offering for us. Keep faith over worry. It's always going to be about faith. Put you on the path, the most easier road, okay? Breathe, meditate, fast. Pay attention to the synchronicities, the serendipities, or pay attention to when you're feeling something ain't right, okay? Versus the no contact, surprise for them, surprise. A facetious surprise, not surprise, yay. No, it's surprise for them, the Kansas City Shuffle. What they thought is not what it is. All it is right now is complete and utter damnation, abomination, and God don't like you. It's a rizat. Please stay tuned to the channel. Like and subscribe, I really appreciate it. Definitely if you can like the video so that it spreads through Tarot Land, YouTube, gets to the folks that it needs to get to. It will be very appreciated. In the meantime, stay blessed with supernatural grace and tranquility and protection, yes. Productivity, but I'm hearing no. Fecundity, and Tupac says, stay out of being papacy whooped.